There are moments when a story begins before a single word is spoken. Moments when the air carries a weight that no one in the room can name, but everyone can feel. That is where this begins. Not with a gavel, not with a charge sheet, but with the quiet disbelief that spreads through a courtroom the second entitlement walks through the door wearing a gold badge it has no right to touch. Before we dive in, let us know in the comments where you are watching from. We would love to see how far this conversation is reaching. The door to the Providence Municipal Court swings open with a confidence that feels less like a step and more like a performance. A 22-year-old man enters, strolling the way someone strolls only when the world has bent for them too many times. Marcus Caldwell carries himself like an heir to a throne, except his kingdom is not land or legacy. It is influence, quiet favors, unspoken immunity, the kind of power that shifts rules rather than follows them. He wears a suit that looks like it should belong in a boardroom in Manhattan, not a courtroom in Rhode Island. The fabric catches the light in smooth waves. His watch gleams whenever he moves his wrist, sending a tiny flare of reflected brightness across the polished floor. His posture is easy, relaxed, unhurried. But it is the badge pinned to his chest that freezes the room. A ceremonial commissioner badge, gold and silver braided together, shining as if it has been waiting for the spotlight. But the badge is not his. It is not earned. It is not legitimate authority. And placing it over his heart is not an act of pride. It is an act of entitlement so bold that even seasoned officers in the room straighten in their seats. He passes the bailiff with a short, almost mocking wink. Not playful, not friendly. A message, a statement. A silent announcement that he has already decided how today will go, and he believes no one in this courtroom has the power to change it. The murmur in the gallery shifts from curiosity to discomfort. Everyone feels the imbalance. Everyone witnesses the way Marcus walks as if laws are suggestions whispered to others, never meant for him. His attorney trails behind him, carrying a stack of papers that looks unnecessarily thick for a case involving alcohol and a vehicle. The attorney's expression is the practiced calm of someone who has spent years in rooms like this, smoothing over the behavior of clients who believe consequences are myths told to lesser people. Marcus sits without waiting for permission. His attorney adjusts his cuffs and rises before the judge can speak. It is a sentence designed to place a wall around the truth, a sentence crafted to imply that the public cannot handle what is about to unfold. Judge Frank Caprio removes his glasses. He does it slowly, intentionally, like someone who refuses to be rushed by arrogance. "This is a court of law," he says. His voice is calm but unmovable. "We proceed publicly." A shift moves through the room, the kind that happens when someone draws a line that will not be crossed. Marcus leans toward his attorney, forgetting how sound carries in a courtroom. "Tell him who my father is," he whispers. It is loud enough for the court reporter to pause for half a second, fingers hovering above the keys. When Judge Caprio addresses Marcus, the young man does not stand. He barely lifts his chin. "Commissioner's son, actually," Marcus says, waving one hand. The sentence drips with the kind of misplaced confidence that comes only from being shielded far too long. A quiet wave of disbelief sweeps across the gallery. The judge's expression does not change, but something behind his eyes sharpens. He looks at Marcus for a long moment, and then his gaze drops to the badge pinned to Marcus's chest. When he speaks, the tone is steady but colder. "Mr. Marcus touches it lightly, almost reverently. "My father gave it to me." There is no anger in the silence that follows, only the heavy recognition that a line has been crossed. "Remove it," Judge Caprio says. Marcus blinks, as if the words do not compute. "You are impersonating a law enforcement officer in this courtroom," the judge replies. "Remove the badge." A pause stretches across the room. Something in Marcus's jaw tightens. He looks to his attorney, expecting a rescue, but the attorney only shakes his head. No rescue is coming. Not for this. The judge begins counting. The room goes still. No one breathes. At 5, even the gallery leans forward. At 3, Marcus finally reaches for the badge. His hand trembles, not in fear, but in resentment, in the fury of someone unaccustomed to being challenged. He yanks it off and slams it onto the table. The judge does not flinch. He simply opens a folder, the paper whispering like a sentence already written. He reads the charges, slowly, clearly, so the entire room understands the gravity of what brought Marcus here. Driving under the influence, leaving the scene, obstruction, impersonation, reckless operation, intimidation. Each word lands with the weight of truth. The judge lists the 3 previous arrests that vanished under suspicious circumstances. He looks up, eyes unwavering. Marcus leans back, voice casual. Bogus stops. They were profiling me. The judge nods once, then presses play on a monitor. The courtroom dims. A body camera feed appears. Not graphic, but sharp enough to show the truth Marcus has been avoiding. A late-night street. A crash. A police cruiser struck where it sat. Marcus stepping out, unsteady. The officer asking if he is all right. Marcus telling him to move the car. Marcus calling his father. Marcus ignoring every instruction given to him. The judge pauses the video at the moment Marcus flees the scene in his SUV. Marcus shrugs. The judge says nothing. He simply plays the next segment. More officers at the crash site. A different angle. More lights. More documentation. And then the Mercedes returns. Marcus steps out wearing a different outfit and the same illegal badge. He speaks to the officers as if he commands them. He taps the badge. He issues demands. He threatens consequences. None of it is loud. None of it is violent. But every word carries the unmistakable message of someone trying to bend the system. The judge pauses the video on Marcus's face. A simple question, heavy as thunder. Marcus does not hesitate. I was helping them understand how things actually work. What follows is not an apology, not remorse, but a belief system laid bare. Marcus genuinely believes privilege is part of the structure, that it is normal, that it is earned, inherited, maintained, that his father's sacrifices grant him a shield against consequences. The judge listens in silence, his expression unreadable. And then he reveals something new, something the courtroom has not seen yet. Phone records, timelines, a sequence of calls made within an hour of the crash, calls from the commissioner's office to the most powerful people in the city, a roadmap of influence, a clear attempt to interfere. The judge lifts the papers. It is not phrased as a question, because the truth does not need a question mark. Marcus shifts in his seat. The arrogance fades by a fraction, not completely, but enough to show that the reality is finally bleeding through the illusion he built around himself. The prosecutor steps forward with more documents, evidence of the past dismissals, transfers, reassignments, doors closing quietly on officers who tried to do their jobs. The gallery watches with the hushed attention of people realizing they are witnessing a turning point, a moment that is bigger than the defendant, bigger than the badge on the table, bigger than the judge. This is the moment where consequences catch up to someone who truly believed they could outrun them forever. The judge leans back, hands folded. His voice is steady. Mr. Caldwell, you stand here today not because of a single mistake, but because you built your life on the belief that rules apply only to other people. You called your behavior minor. You called it harassment. You called it discretion. Marcus opens his mouth, but the judge lifts a hand. No. The room is so quiet that even the hum of the lights feels louder. There are families in this city who follow the rules even when it hurts, the judge continues. There are officers who serve with dignity despite every difficulty. There are citizens who face consequences they can barely afford. And then there is you. A beat passes. The weight of the words settles across the courtroom like a long-awaited verdict. The story is not finished yet, not even close. But the balance has shifted. For the first time, Marcus is not dictating the terms. The room is no longer bending around him. The truth has climbed to the surface and refuses to retreat. And as the judge prepares to deliver the sentence that will echo far beyond this courtroom, one question rises in the minds of everyone watching. When privilege finally faces justice, what happens next? To find out, subscribe, follow, and share your thoughts below. Your voice matters more than ever.